Hey everyone, nice to see you again. Of course, back here with Sean. We had some exciting news last week. We're going to be diving into MyRegistry.com and some strategies around that. But first things first, Sean, how are you?
Great, Jason. How's everything with you?
Things
Did
are
you have your
good.
birthday? You had a birthday coming up.
I
You were
had my
last.
birthday. It already happened.
You've been talking about it for 11 months.
Hey, now there's only 340 days left until my next birthday.
I'm
So
sure you can't wait.
don't
I'm sure you can't wait.
don't worry, another person who counts down Christmas when it's July, but Christmas is coming up. But let's hop into the more exciting news here. So,
Sure.
we have a MyRegistry.com. Did you want to maybe tell people how significant MyRegistry.com is and maybe explain them a little bit?
Well, yeah. So MyRegistry.com is they are it's what they call a universal registry, and what that is people can register for gifts from multiple different retailers and keep it online and then share it through my registry. So they might register for certain stuff from Target, certain stuff from, I don't know, a small independent furniture company. Maybe they want a certain kind of China set or whatever. So it can be huge retailers like Walmart and Target and I think a few others, Bye Bye Baby, and all the way down to companies that sell single line products like Nightfood. So the advantage for us, and what's really interesting, is that all these people, and they've got hundreds of thousands of people using their registries, will get to see Nightfood potentially when they're looking for ideas. They've got what's called an inspiration board. We actually sent them a bunch of ice cream, and they had a big ice cream party yesterday. The whole My Registry team had an ice cream party. They told us how much they loved it, and so we're up on these inspiration boards, and I think they posted on their socials yesterday about it. And we're going to continue to do things when we launch the pickle flavor. They'll be getting that in front of people. So we really want the expectant mom to hear about Nightfood at every touch point. We're doing a lot of things to kind of support that and make sure that this thing builds up to where moms are telling moms, and the more places that they can hear about it, that just means the more points of initiation and inception we can have. And then we're doing everything we can also to facilitate those conversations and get moms talking to each other.
What else are you guys doing in terms of the pregnant thing? I mean, I know you guys have a couple initiatives that you've just started. Do you want to explain?
Yeah, we've got a lot of big initiatives. I mean, the main thing for us is we believe that when we get to a certain point, pregnant women will start talking more and more and more about this. And we're already seeing it. It's already happening. And one of the big things we're doing right now is we're reaching out to doulas. And, you may not know what a doula is. I don't know if we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, but doulas, birth doula, works with a pregnant woman. They typically start working together really just a few months in. It's not just something that happens at the very end, even though the focus is on the birth process. There's a lot of training. There's just a lot of preparation that goes on, and coaching and things like that. And so what we're doing is we're reaching out to doulas in the markets where we have distribution, and we are introducing the doulas to Nightfood, making them aware that it exists. We're letting them try it. We're answering any questions that they have, because each doula is working with multiple pregnant women, and the doula's job is basically to make the whole pregnancy and birth experience more manageable and more, I don't know if enjoyable is the right word. I've never been pregnant, so I don't want to throw
easier,
words.
right?
What's that? Easier. Yeah, easier. Right.
Yeah.
So part of that, is, it's dealing with the pregnancy experience, and cravings are a big piece. And just as interested as the pregnant women are when we reach out to them, as the doulas are just as much, because again, we're not trying to market something that doesn't have a problem. Ice cream is the number one pregnancy craving. Women are concerned about making proper nutritional choices. So, marketing to the doulas is a great way for us, hopefully, to, again, be in as many touch points as possible for that pregnant woman, and kind of create that situation where, once women start hearing about it from one place and from multiple places, it just kind of takes on an awareness life of its own. And once that happens, then we're going to be in a position where, that's when we're going to see this thing totally mushroom.
Yeah. No, extremely interesting strategy, and we'll break it open in a second here. But to give people a taste, taste without the joke, but to give people a little bit of depth into kind of how important talking and getting expert advice for pregnant women is. One of the most Googled things after I'm pregnant is what should I eat? So
Yeah.
you'd be kind of crazy to think that obviously that's not a very quick conversation that they would want to have with with these doulas. So I think that's fantastic. So you guys have kind of just started that initiative, but how are you seeing interest wise? What's your take?
It's amazing. I mean, we did early on. We started reaching out to birthing centers, and we were doing ice cream parties, and this was right before COVID hit. So the whole COVID thing really derailed and forced us to, think on our feet and think about different strategies and how to market in a COVID world. You can't do in-store demonstrations. You can't be at these baby expos. You can't be at the OBGYN conference, that we had booked. In January or whenever it was, and it was supposed to be held in Seattle in April. So all of the in-person things we were planning to do got thrown for a loop. But the doulas are still working with the women, and some of that is virtual. So that's it's still happening. Um, the doula outreach really did just start recently, and the response so far has been great. I mean, we've done a couple of parties where we shipped ice cream to the doulas. They were having a bunch of couples in for some training, and they said everybody loved it. We actually posted it on our Facebook. Anybody wants to hit our Facebook wall, they can see the review from the doula. And there's thousands of doulas out there, thousands of doulas just in the markets where we are: Chicago, Boston, DC, Houston, New Orleans, and then when we add New York and Seattle, there's going to be a lot more. So reaching them, their job is to know what's available to help make the pregnant woman's experience easier. And so it would almost be, I don't want to say irresponsible. I don't want to make this bigger than it is. It's ice cream, but they kind of, their job is to be experts on all things related to pregnancy and be a trusted advisor. So when they hear about something like this, they're hypersensitive to it, and they're receptive. And of course, we know, Jason, everybody who's tried the ice cream, it's typically really well received. So they're going to love it, and they're going to be comfortable recommending it.
Yeah. No, honestly, I think it's a fantastic strategy. Is there anything else you want to mention about my registry or even the doulas?
No, I think the doula thing is going to be really exciting, and we're doing a lot more outreach, starting with pregnant influencers. So I think people are going to start seeing a lot more activity on Instagram about that. And we're not. I mean, even just the way you asked the question a couple minutes ago, and you said, "Oh, you're doing a lot on the pregnancy." Yeah, we are, because these are the people, these are the consumers that are most. They're not in a rut. It's really hard to change people that are, that are in a rut where they're doing the same things every day, and you're trying to say, hey, here's a new ice cream. These pregnant women, their whole life is in upheaval. They're looking for new options. What should I eat? Like you said, is a really popular Google term: pregnancy nutrition, pregnancy diet. That's what they're wondering. So there's a reason that we're starting there. The other thing to point out is that that's what the major retailers are super excited about with regard to Nightfood. We're having meetings. We're moving forward with some of the major retailers right now, going through the review process where we weren't able to move through last year. So I think that, and it's because pregnancy. It's because they realize that if this ice cream catches on within that pregnancy community, which I'm very confident that it would, and why wouldn't it? How valuable a chip is that to have in the store, and we've talked about that before. So that's the reason it's a super volatile opportunity for us, where if we are able to activate within that community, the whole world opens up to us.
Yeah, well, you've touched on multiple times, and just to drive it home some more, obviously, if you're a supermarket, they're looking at, well, how can we
Right.
bring a customer in? And obviously, if hey, I would love to go to this place that has night food, it was recommended to me by this person I work with, their doula or whatever. It definitely makes a lot of sense that hey, you would want this in your store. So
Well, Well, it's not just that, Jason. I mean, and that's a part of it. And then, of course, I mean, look, if the cliche is sending the husband out in the middle of the night in the snow to get ice cream. So, the ice cream is hopefully for some of these women going to dictate where the family does their shopping and where the whole basket spend goes, like what you're talking about. The other thing is there's some big box stores, and you mentioned big box earlier, where baby registries are a big piece of what they try to do. And so when we're speaking with those stores, the conversation is revolving also around, the pregnant women being in the store, because that can tend to drive, where they might choose even to register. And what if, when a woman registers at the store, what if we were to gift her 2 free pints of Nightfood? And the retailers seem to be really interested in that. So those conversations are ongoing. And, we think that this is going to be a really valuable strategic piece in terms of getting in, not only to the supermarkets like what you talked about, but, there's a lot of big box stores that have huge grocery business, but they also selling the strollers and the cribs and the diapers, and all that other stuff. And then those guys, we're talking to.